So good morning, everyone. I'm Charline Crosnier, business developer at Worldline. So Worldline is an IT company specialized in the management of transactions and more specifically payment transactions. And today I'm gonna present you one of our offer that is Origin. This offer has been launched in 2018 and it's a food traceability label based on the blockchain technology. So to give you a little bit of context, we launched this offer because we are facing a new kind of consumer. This consumer is no longer looking for experience while buying their products, but more meaning. It means this consumer is educated. He wants to consume quality products and wants to know more about them. And they really want to be part, to be an actor of the value they are created. So in the industry, in the food industry, they are looking now for visibility, for transparency about the origin of the product, but also all the transformation steps of the product from the beginning to the retailer's shelves. It has an impact on the supply chains because retailers, brands need to increase the control on their supply chains to provide this visibility to the consumer. And it's in this context that we developed the Origin solution. So it's concretely a QR code that is printed on the final product, and while scanning it, the final consumer can see the origin of the product, but also all the transformation steps. So it has a visibility on the entire supply chain from the beginning to the end. We developed it with Bureau Veritas, and I will explain you later this partnership. And today we are providing this solution in the case of two industries, the tuna fishing industry and the textile industry. It's because today those two supply chains are facing challenges. For the tuna, it's because as it's a high value product, there is a lot of fraud in the way it is fished. And in the textile industry, they are facing scandals related to the working conditions of the employees all along the chain. And they have now to provide the proof to the final consumer, considering those working conditions. And the final scandal we saw in the news, it's the way the Uyghur population works in China in this industry. For this solution, we decided to use the blockchain protocol because in this kind of industry, there is no regulator that is imposing the way traceability must be done. So it's very difficult for one actor to impose the way, to impose their traceability tool to the rest of the chain. So they are looking for a kind of neutral solution in order to be able to share this information and to share it with the final consumer. In a way, it's controlled and secured. So secured because the blockchain protocol ensures that every information is immutable. So it's a strong advantage of this technology. It's open because as we developed several confidentiality levels, every actor has the control on their data, and they choose who is seeing what on their own data. It's also easy to use because it's a new it's a level on the local IT system, so it's linked to the local IT system, and the local IT system of each actor that are different are pushing information in the blockchain, and in this way it's shared in a more easy way to the rest of the ecosystem. And finally, it's timestamped because we every event that is registered has a date, and we can chronologically order the events. As an IT partner, we are developing the platform, we are developing the technical solution, We are responsible for the integrity and the reliability of the information pushed in the blockchain, but there is a limit. We are not responsible and we do not know the accuracy of the information that is pushed in the blockchain. That's our limit, and that's why we decided to partner with Bureau Veritas, that is a certifying agency. And in our partnership, this actor, Bureau Veritas, is responsible for the accuracy of the information pushed in the blockchain. It's Bureau Veritas that creates really the link between the digital path of the information and the physical path, of the product. So they are adjusting the audits, the tests, the inspections regarding their own criteria, and the criteria defined with the supply chain actors. And that's how we are building our value proposition. To give you concrete situations, and we sold thanks to our solution, for example, in the tuna industry and the tuna traceability, we are now tracing every event on a vessel. We are tracing the catch of the fish, the way it is catch, but also every changes of wheels during all the journey of the vessel in the ocean. So in the tuna, in the way tuna is fished, there is two kinds of catch. There is a fat-free catch, so it's a more sustainable way to catch fish, and a fad catch. This way, it's less sustainable. And the fisher is tempted to mix the way the fish is has been caught, and this way he will try to sell a fat-free fish. Instead, it's not because it's there is a more expensive price. So as with our solution, we are tracing every event. We know what the fisher has declared in the solution, and Bureau Veritas is organizing inspections on the vessel to make sure the declaration of the fisher corresponds to the reality and the way fish is warehoused in the vessel. So it's a concrete challenge we have solved with the solution. Another one, in the textile traceability, we have a client that has, for the moment, visibility from the beginning of their warehouses. So once the garment is entering their warehouses up to the point of sales, they have a visibility because they are putting some RFID tags. So they can follow all the transformation steps at this segment, but they have absolutely no visibility on the previous steps. So from the farmer up to the entry point of their warehouses. And considering the transparency need of the final consumer, they are looking for a solution to provide them this visibility without changing all the tools that are already implemented at their suppliers' locations. So Origin, in this way, it's an easy way to push information for their suppliers and share it with the brand. So this way, they have a complete visibility from farmer to the point of sale. With this kind of project, we are facing many challenges. The first one is the data confidentiality. Indeed, we have ecosystem where actors are sometimes partners, sometimes competitors. So it's very important for them to have the control on their data and choose who is saying what. So it takes time to present it to these actors and to help them to choose the various confidentiality levers they want to use. Second challenge is the information reliability. So this way, it takes time with Bureau Veritas and the actors to organize the tests, the inspections, the audits they want to do in the chain. They have to identify the key steps where there is fraud or there is a risk. The third one is the process and the governance. So it's the role of Bureau Veritas to define the roles of each actors in the chain, and it takes also time to organize the processes. And finally, it's complex to build the workflow. So what we call the workflow is the functional specifications of the project. So it's a document that is summarizing who is doing what kind of information are we sharing, who is seeing what, and all the requirements. It takes time because we realized that sometimes actors are not really aware of the complexity of the transformation steps. They have the idea of the key steps, but as we are entering more in details, it takes time for them to understand really what are doing every supplier. So considering our experience, we have developed 6 kind of services. So Worldline is providing those 6 services, starting with the education point. So it's the first point. We still have some clients that need 1 or 2 days to understand what is the blockchain, what the blockchain does and what it doesn't do, what is very important. Then there is a step for the definition of the project. So here we are defining the functional need of our client. Then we describe in a functional specification and technical specification the project. After there is the phase of setup. So we are using Origin, but we are implementing all the specificities we identified for this project. We deploy, and finally we industrialize. It means that we advise our clients to start first with a controlled perimeter. So to trace just one product, or to set up a project just in one geography, or with a very limited supply chain, just to test and to identify the value they are generating with this solution. And after, in this final phase, we industrialize. So we are integrating more products or more geographies or more actors. So here you have the links if you want to know more about the solution. There is a dedicated website. Here you have my email if you have any questions. And I thank you for your attention.